I think it is more obvious now that Israel, United States cannot defeat Iran in this ongoing war. Yes, all the evidence are there. They are so glaring. US in collaboration with Israel cannot defeat Iran in this ongoing war. I say that with my full chest. Otherwise, how come the US have been calling for an assistance, for a support from fellow NATO countries to join them in the fight against Iran? US in collaboration with Israel fighting a war against Iran alone, just Iran. And they are finding it this difficult to the extent that President Donald Trump have been calling on fellow NATO allies to join the war against Iran. Is this not an evidence that they can't do it alone? They cannot. Iranians are so strong. They are so formidable. If this was one-on-one, Iran against Israel alone or Iran against the US alone, I'm sure Iran would have had better results than they're having now. And they have done well for themselves even as we speak now. To make this even more obvious, Prime Minister Netanyahu is also calling for the support, for the assistance of NATO allies to join them, to assist them in the war against Iran. President Donald Trump is asking and begging NATO allies to join them in the fight against Iran. Prime Minister Netanyahu is begging NATO allies to join them in the war against Iran. Everybody wants, US and Israel are calling for the entire world to join them in fighting Iran alone. This is an obvious evidence that they can never defeat Iran in this ongoing war. They can never. Yes, the evidence are glaring. Just recently, President Donald Trump threatened that if Iranian refuse to open the Strait of Hormuz, that he's going to do this, he's going to do XYZ. But even in all of this, they are still calling on NATO allies to come give them the necessary assist. I raise my two hands for the dogged leadership of the Iranians. The same leadership President Donald Trump had earlier claimed he has completely wiped out. He has wiped out this first group, the second group, even the next group. He has wiped them all out to the extent that there are no longer people to even negotiate with. But yet, US and Israel cannot even use the Strait of Hormuz because the Iranians decide who passes through the Strait of Hormuz and who doesn't pass. And now, after the threat of Donald Trump requesting that, demanding that Iranians should open the Strait of Hormuz, the leadership of Iran has now openly come out to say that the Strait of Hormuz is open for anyone to pass except their enemies, which is Israel and the United States. So you see, the United States and the Israeli cannot have their ship pass through the Strait of Hormuz. They are disbanded. They are completely being stopped by the Iranians. So, if the United States have powers to do and undo, if the Israeli in collaboration with the United States have power to stop Iran, why begging for other NATO allies to join you in this war? You can't stop Iran. Iran even have missiles that can travel 4,000 kilometers. Iran leadership have been saying that every equipment that they've been using are their outdated equipment. All their drones, their missiles, they said that was their old missiles, their updated missiles, that they have missiles that can go up to 4,000 kilometers. But the world thought they were lying. But the Israeli government have now confirmed that. Netanyahu has now confirmed that Iranian indeed have missiles capable of getting to UK, Germany, Spain, name it, every part of Europe. That tells you how formidable the Iranian leadership are. However, I know some people are coming to attack me on this video saying that I did claim that Netanyahu is no more. Yes, I said so. I am owning up to what I said. And that was because all indications projected that Netanyahu was no longer alive. Yes, every evidence was projecting that, was pointing at that direction. Imagine him missing Security Council meeting in 2 occasions, missing World Leaders meeting in 1 occasion, trying to use AI video to project him being alive. All these were all red flags, and this was enough evidence for anyone to come up to say he's no longer there. But however, since he's still not alive, I have no problem with this.